Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What Have I Been Watching? Some more unedited fun for you. And normally during a month, I try and go with a theme. And sometimes I start on a theme and then I go to another theme and then another theme. So this month I started out with roadshow epics. Films that were epics and presented in a roadshow presentation back in the 60s, shown in 70mm with an overture, intermission, exit music in one of the biggest theaters in the city. And then I switched to kind of B movies or exploitation or spaghetti westerns. Some of them are very good and should be taken serious. And then I went on to filmmakers who had a vision that, in my opinion, was uncompromised. Not saying that a Scorsese doesn't have his vision compromised, but these people were known as true mavericks. At least a couple of them who I'm going to show here. But, first thing, I've been on a Roger Corman kick. And I love drive-ins. And these kind of films would be shown in the drive-in. Got Roger Corman's The Trip with Peter Fonda and Gas. These are both on Blu-ray from Olive Films. They're sort of a specialty company like Twilight Time, Shout Factory. Arrow is one that I've been impressed with. And Criterion. Criterion's the most famous one. But the one thing I don't like about these editions on Blu-ray is that they don't have the special features that are on this Roger Corman collection box set. On here, The Trip and has audio commentary from Roger Corman, a making of documentary. The Trip was pretty popular when it came out. But this box set has other great things on here like Premature Burial, X, the Man with X-Ray Eyes. So, typical Corman schlock cheese, And you have to love that stuff. And I love it. And as far as the roadshow films, John Sturges' Ice Station Zebra. I love this film. It kind of got it didn't get critical acclaim when it came out the way The Great Escape and The Magnificent Seven, two other films that Sturges did, the way they got. But this was a hit, and it actually resurrected Rock Hudson's career. And this is a very good Blu-ray. Transfer's pretty good. There's some flaws in the print that obviously could not have been solved, and you see that more in part 2 of the film because there's an intermission. But this is pretty good. I like this film a lot. It's one of my favorites. I have the Roadshow program for this one. And it's a mad, 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 mad world. Stanley Kramer. Stanley Kramer was the Oliver Stone of his day, but unlike Oliver Stone, Stanley Kramer did the comedy to end all comedies with It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. The great thing about this Criterion edition is that this has the general release version in 4K, but they also have a reconstruction of the Roadshow version, the Roadshow premiere version, as much as they could, done by restoration expert Robert Harris. So this is very good, especially since it's got the Roadshow version in it with the police calls during the intermission. If you know about this film, you know about the police calls during the intermission. Good film, great film, historic film. It's a classic and should be preserved. On to filmmakers that have an uncompromising vision. I got two here. Robert Altman, McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Robert Altman is one of my favorites. It was sad for me when he passed away. But when I saw his last film, A Prairie Home Companion, I just kind of knew that was going to be his last film. Definitely uncompromising. This is a weird kind of Western. In fact, you call it an anti-Western. Beautiful performance by Warren Beatty and Julie Christie. Beautiful photography. And I talk about these films and I don't delve into the plots when I do it because hopefully some of you guys have seen these. But if not, hopefully just my enthusiasm for talking about these things would encourage you to go see them. But this is a good film, a great film. It's a masterpiece. It's one of those films that's usually on those great movies lists. Warren Beatty coming into town as town of Presbyterian Church to pretty much make it his own with a gambling house, and then he meets Julie Christie's character, and they become partners in a gambling / whorehouse until big business wants to come in and take their businesses over. That's pretty much the general plot, but being Altman, it's more complex than that. Criterion is the best this film has ever looked. And John Frankenheimer, the Manchurian Candidate, I don't think I need to say anything about this other than ignore the Jonathan Demme remake. I like Jonathan Demme. Why the hell he decided to do a remake, I have no idea. This is the version to see. Frank Sinatra's best performance. Angela Lansbury. Oh my God, she is so chilling in this film. And for those who know her from the voice of Miss Potts in Beauty and the Beast and the kind of Disney creation she became later on, such a cold performance from her in this film. Excellent. Sam Peckinpah, The Wild Bunch. Do I need to say anything about this? Do I? Seriously? I don't think so. Other than the fact that this needs to be re-released on Blu-ray. This does need a better transfer now. And some Italian Westerns. Sergio Leone kind of transcended the Italian Western, and he's now considered a legend. But there's some forgotten names that did Westerns that were equally as brilliant in Italian film. One of them is Sergio Solimas. The Big Gun Down. Sergio Solima. Big Gun Down. Lovingly shot in the low-budget widescreen process Technoscope, as a lot of them were. Lee Van Cleef, very good performance. Ennio Morricone, great score. If you can get your hands on this was another specialty company release. Grindhouse Releasing, which I think is Tarantino's company. I could be wrong. But this is one to see, definitely. And another Sergio Solima. I'm glad. I've always wanted to see this ever since I saw the trailer on YouTube. Face to Face or Faccia e Faccia. And another great film. This has the 93-minute English version in high def. It's got the uncut Italian version, which is in standard def. But then again, it's a United Artists film, and United Artists, or MGM UA, which owns United Artists catalog, I'll be doing a video on that will be edited at some point. God, I got a lot to say about what they're doing. It's not good. Monty Hellman, Two-Lane Blacktop, starring James Taylor. Yes, James Taylor and Dennis Wilson. Very cerebral for a car film. And James Taylor, despite not being an actor, I think he does a heck of a performance in here. His only film, and Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys, his only film. James Taylor plays the car driver. Dennis Wilson plays his mechanic. They're street racers. But Warren Oates is such an underrated actor. Really such an underrated actor. I first saw him in Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch, but when I saw him in other films like Two-Lane Blacktop and Peckinpah's own Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, such tender performances that are so complex. He's definitely underrated. Definitely check out Two-Lane Blacktop. And as a final, I've been kind of obsessed with the whole Cinerama widescreen process. I can't go into detail on here because I'm running out of time, but they reissued the classic Cinerama films from the 50s, the widescreen 3-panel curved screen thing, and these are a nice treat. These are all beautifully restored. They tried to get the alignments up. If you don't know about Cinerama, go ahead and look it up. But all these classics. This is Cinerama, which was the first one. Cinerama Holiday. Cinerama's Seven Wonders of the World. Cinerama's Search for Paradise. Cinerama South Seas Adventure, and the only film done in Cinerama's competitor called Cinemiracle, Windjammer. All these are restored. I had collected these over the years. They were all put in the curved smile box format to simulate how it was on a Cinerama screen. So if you're a film fanatic, a film buff, get those. Independent company did these. Flickr Alley. It was kind of a labor of love for the people involved to actually restore these and get them in the right way. So definitely check those out if you are a film buff. Kind of went over my time here, going on 11 minutes here, so thank you so much. Please check those titles out, and drop me a line if there's something you want me to talk about as far as film. And I'll be back with some edited films here soon. Edited videos, films. Ugh. So stay tuned. I got a review coming up of the new Steven Wilson album, and some exciting things happening. Thanks for sticking with me, and tell your friends. Bye-bye.